Hi everybody, Russ on the West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well. The season is over. Disappointing end to the season, wasn't it? In all honesty. But football, European football again next season. We did a show yesterday. Check it out. Everything you need to know about the Europa Conference League. And it'll be as clear as mud when you finish the video. All you got to watch out for is the 1st of August. 1st of August is the draw for the playoff round. Double-headed, which we need to obviously win to progress to the group stages. But that's all you need to know, really. The rest is just fluff, I'll be honest. But there's a lot of fluff there. But I bring with you the 23rd of May's edition of Hammers Headlines in association with KUMB.com. 25 years and counting for the boys at KUMB.com. Obviously, check them out and all the forums and their YouTube channel and all the news they provide as well. Don't worry, we'll still be going through the summer with all your silly transfer rumours and all the latest news and headlines to do with West Ham United. As always, 3 stories we have today. The first one is a bit of a good news story, hopefully. And it is about Declan Rice, who is, well, at the end of this month, will hopefully be officially our club captain, as Mark will obviously retire at the end of the month when his contract runs out at the end of May. But apparently, Declan Rice is reportedly set to rebuff substantial interest from Man City, Man United and Chelsea to remain at West Ham. According to the Daily Mirror, the 23-year-old is willing to give the Hammers one more season before potentially eyeing a move to one of the Premier League's big hitters. He won't quit West Ham this summer despite this huge interest. The 23-year-old's refusal to sign new terms at West Ham has thrown his future in doubt. But the article, Mirror Football, understands there's no great desire from the player to quit the Hammers ahead of a season which will be busy enough with the World Cup in Qatar and also West Ham in the Europa League Conference. Boss David Moyes and the co-owners, Mr. Sullivan, Mr. Gold, have been adamant that Rice would not be for sale this summer, and there is a growing feeling around the club that the player is on the same page. And I think we get that feeling. It's almost like one more season. Let's see the progression. Let's see if we're, spending all this money which we're meant to be spending, and seeing where we are at the end of the year. I think there are a lot of these players, this year is not going to be a moving year for them if they're already settled. If they're unsettled, they want to move because they want to, they've got a few months to try and get into their respective World Cup squads. But I think players like Declan Rice, maybe the likes of Bowen at West Ham as well, they're unlikely to move, I think, in the summer because of the World Cup, the impending World Cup. And they're settled and they're first teamers and their first name on the team sheets and stuff like that. So I think we'll get one more season at Rice, then we'll see what happens next summer. But let's worry about that next year. Couple of transfer stories, as always. It wouldn't be Hammers Headlines without any transfer stories. The next one is the return of the Macca. We had Frank McAvenny, now we've got another Macca apparently being lined up to sign for West Ham. We are interested in a deal to sign Gianluca Scamacca. That's a good name. Scamacca from Sassuolo this summer, according to The Sun. That's the team that Pedro Obiang is on the books with. Obviously, he's not playing at the moment due to illness, but he's on the books with them. The newspaper claims that there's interest in doing a deal for the 23-year-old as David Moyes bids to bring in support for Mickey Antonio, who scored his first goal outside the box. Is that ever? I think it was yesterday, as well as his first goal against Brighton since he played for Sheffield Wednesday. Mental. And Gianluca has scored 16 goals in 35 games for Serie A this year, as well as scoring in the Italian Cup as well. And his form this season has seen him win his first cap for Italy. AC Milan and City rivals Inter Milan are both interested in signing the gentleman, and he would cost around 25 million at the end of the campaign, and by all accounts. Interest from elsewhere could drive that price up. However, as the Irons are said to be ready to look elsewhere if that's the case. So, we've obviously got people like Belotti as the back burner, so to speak. It's interesting. I mean, Gianluca is a very interesting man. I mean, look at him. He's got massive tattoos all over his body. He's got reminds me of an Arnautovic. Reminds me a little bit of a good Arnautovic. As I said, he's having a breakthrough season this season. He's a product from the Roma Youth Academy. He joined PSV Eindhoven in January 2015. he played a couple of games for John PSV, which is sort of the feeder club, so to speak. And then Sassuolo signed him in 2017. And he's played, in terms of Italy, he's played under 17s, 18s, 19s, 20, 21s, and so far he's made 3 Italian caps this season. So, the first being in the World Cup qualifiers, I want to say, in September. He made his debut in a 5-0 win against Lithuania, coming on as a second-half substitute. So, 23, he's got bags of potential for getting for 25 million. That seems like a good deal to me. And he seems to be sort of progressed as throughout the year. I mean, the season before, I think he was on loan was it at Genoa? No, it was at Genoa last year. He was on loan and he scored, I think, 8 goals in 26 games or something like that. So, there's a progression there. And I think he could be a good. He's a big lad as well, which helps as well. We like a big lad up front. And then in another transfer rumour, and we've spoken about. I know Anton spoke about it on Friday, but there's a little bit more information about Dennis could be our Menace. See what I did there? I don't just throw this thing together. But apparently West Ham have held talks with Emmanuel Dennis's representatives ahead of a potential summer move. Obviously, the season's now over. According to a new report, that the Hammers are attempting to do a deal to bring him into the club and have spoken to his camp, apparently. He's previously been linked to a move to London Stadium, and it now appears there is real interest from the Irons in bringing him into the club. Obviously, he was a shining light for Watford in what was a dire season for them, scoring 10 goals and providing, I think, 6 assists in 33 games. Obviously, he only joined the summer prior to the season, and would have had a pay cut in certainly his contract. However, it's likely that Watford will look to move a few of these players on, not renew some of their contracts. People like Ben Foster, he's not yet. They haven't renewed his contract. There's a couple of others. There's someone like Sarr as well. And Dennis is also has been a shining light. So we'll see what happens then. It seems that other clubs are starting to do a little bit of movement as well. So hopefully we can get stuff signed. I mean, there was also reports of Lingard once again. But those were the 3 main ones. And that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. We've got some cool stuff coming up this week. Tomorrow night we've got a appreciation night for Pop Robson with Nigel Khan and Martin Godliman, the voice of London Stadium, which is really good. So we have loads of footage of Pop's goals for West Ham. We talk about it, and I sit there and listen because obviously I wasn't around during Pop's time, so I get to learn. So young and old. The olds will remember Pop. The youngs will have no idea or very vague idea of who he is. But he had a huge influence on West Ham, particularly with a couple of the players. David Cross, for example, he was his idol growing up when he was playing. And Tony Cottee as well. He said that Pop was one of his idols when he was growing up as a kid. So it'd be really, really interesting. And on Thursday night, we've got Matty Holmes, little Matty Holmes on the channel doing a live Q&A. So make sure you have your questions for Matt. And that's it, my friends and ladies and gentlemen. Take care, everyone. Stay safe, wash those hands, stay lucky, stay cheeky, and stay positive. And I'll see you later on. Ciao, ciao, my friends. Bye-bye.